My mother always defended my older brother, but when he took our younger brother's fiancée, our family broke in a way I never thought possible. Now she expects us to overlook the fact that our younger brother's partner was taken by our polished, cunning, golden child older brother. A year ago, I would have laughed if someone suggested Caleb could do something this awful. My mother always painted Caleb as the perfect son, the one who never failed. But as I sit in my apartment replaying the events of the past few weeks, I can't stop thinking about how everything fell apart. It all started with what should have been Logan's wedding. Logan, my younger brother, is the most genuine person I know, kind, thoughtful, and always willing to give anything he had to help someone. We were thrilled when he proposed to Avery. She seemed to love him just as much. She was smart, funny, and the two of them were one of those couples that simply fit. Then there was Caleb. Even now, the details feel unreal. One week, Logan and Avery were picking flowers and finalizing the guest list. The next week, Avery abruptly canceled the wedding. Logan showed up at my door completely shattered, eyes swollen from crying, face pale. He told me Avery had broken things off without any real explanation. At first, I thought maybe she had cold feet. Weddings are stressful. It happens. But then the truth came out. Less than 3 days later, Avery and Caleb, who was supposed to be Logan's best man, walked into our family barbecue holding hands. My mom, Linda, had invited everyone over for family time. I'd gone hoping to check on Logan, since I hadn't seen him since he arrived at my door in tears. I will never forget the sight of Caleb casually walking into the backyard with Avery beside him like nothing was wrong. The entire yard went silent. It felt like everything froze. I looked at her, then at him, waiting for some explanation. "What is this?" I demanded, louder than I meant to. Caleb, with that smug expression he always seemed to wear, just shrugged. "Avery and I are together now." Thank God Logan wasn't there to see it. My sister Riley was pouring lemonade when she heard him. She dropped the entire pitcher. Glass shattered across the patio. My mother's face didn't show shock, though. That was the first warning sign. She hadn't told anyone, but somehow she already knew. "You're joking," I managed, shaking. Avery wouldn't look at me. Her face burned with guilt, staring down at the grass. Caleb, calm as ever, said, "Relax, Mason. It's complicated, but this is better for everyone." "For everyone?" I snapped. "What about Logan? You took your own brother's fiancée." Avery flinched at the word took, but Caleb didn't even blink. "The relationship between her and Logan didn't work out. It wasn't planned," he insisted. I didn't let him finish. Too angry to stay, I stormed off. Riley followed, shaking. "Did you see Mom? She didn't say a word. She looked okay with this." That was the second warning sign. Caleb had always been her favorite, the golden child with the degree and corporate job. Logan and I were just Logan and me. I used to joke we were spare parts in the family. It didn't feel like a joke anymore. Later that evening, I called Logan. I asked if he knew. He didn't. He sounded hollow, emptied out. "Of course it was Caleb," he said quietly. "It's always Caleb." The fallout was immediate. Riley cut Caleb off completely. When I tried confronting him again, he dismissed me as being dramatic. A few days later, my mother called. Her voice was disturbingly calm. "Mason, we need to talk." "About what?" I asked, still furious. "We're having dinner here this weekend. You and Riley should come. It's time to put this behind us." I thought I misheard her. "Move past this. Logan was betrayed. Caleb broke his heart. And Avery." "Mason," she interrupted softly, "Caleb made a mistake, but he's your brother. He's happy now. Isn't that what matters?" I had no words. The one person meant to protect us equally was siding with Caleb again. When I told Riley this, she rolled her eyes. "She's pretending everything is normal." I didn't disagree, but I felt I had to go. Not for Caleb, not for my mother, for Logan. I wanted him to know someone was still in his corner. On Saturday, I found Riley already on the porch with her arms crossed. "This will be a disaster," she muttered. She wasn't wrong. Inside, Caleb sat at the table smiling, Avery beside him like she belonged there. My mother stood at the head of the table, beaming as if nothing was wrong. "Come sit," she said cheerfully. "We're going to have a nice family dinner." The tension was suffocating, and as soon as I sat down, everything collapsed. I didn't even want to be there. Riley and I were basically speaking on Logan's behalf because he couldn't. Someone had to say what everyone else was too afraid to admit. My mother had laid out a spotless meal, as if good food could erase what had happened. She tried to bring warmth into the room, pretending everything was fine. "Let's sit, eat, and talk," she said. Riley muttered, "I'd rather eat glass." Avery kept her eyes locked on her plate, refusing to meet ours. Caleb lounged comfortably beside her, arm behind her chair like they were on a casual date. "Where's Logan?" I asked sharply. "Logan decided not to come," Riley said. "Wonder why?" My mother shot her a warning look, but said nothing. Riley never backed down, especially not with Caleb involved. Caleb kept eating like none of this mattered. I finally said, "So, Caleb, you're just okay with all of this?" He gave me that condescending, calm-down look he'd used since we were kids. "What do you mean by this, Mason?" "This," I said, gesturing between him and Avery. "You took Logan's fiancée, the same brother who trusted you enough to make you his best man." Caleb set down his butter knife with a sigh. "Look, Mason, this wasn't planned. Avery and it just happened. It's complicated." Riley scoffed. "That's your excuse? You don't just accidentally start dating your brother's fiancée." Avery stayed silent. She didn't even lift her head. I wish she would speak for herself, but Caleb kept controlling the conversation. "We're being honest," Caleb insisted. "Avery and I are happy. We don't need your approval." "Honest?" I fired back. "You couldn't even tell Logan yourself. Avery had to do it." "That's enough," my mother cut in sharply. "We're not going to yell like children." "Then maybe Caleb shouldn't act like one," Riley snapped. My mother's voice tightened. "This isn't helping. Caleb and Avery are here because they want to continue as a family. We need to forgive and move on." I stared at her. "You're okay with this? With what Caleb did?" "Life is complicated," she said gently, like I was a child. "People deserve a chance to be happy." "Happy?" Riley shouted. "Logan is miserable, and you're acting like this is Thanksgiving dinner." Caleb stood up. "I don't have to sit here and listen to this." "Sit down," I growled, surprising even myself. I was exhausted with him escaping consequences. "You don't get to act like nothing happened," I said, "and then blame us." Finally, Avery spoke, soft, shaky. It wasn't supposed to happen like this." Riley and I turned toward her. "Then why did it?" I asked. Avery's eyes flicked to Caleb, waiting for permission. "When he stayed silent," she admitted. "Caleb and I started talking months ago. At first, it was harmless. Then he told me things about Logan, things that made me question everything." "What things?" Riley pressed. "He said Logan didn't really love me, that he was just going through the motions, that he felt like he had to settle down." I froze. It all made sense. Caleb had been planting doubts for months, manipulating her. That was who he was. Charming, strategic, self-serving. "You're kidding," Riley said in disgust. "You let Caleb convince you Logan didn't love you? Logan adored you." Avery winced. Caleb stepped in coldly. "We're not going to let you attack Avery. This conversation is over." "Fine," I said, standing. "Then I'll tell Logan everything myself." "Mason," my mother began. "No," I cut her off. "Logan deserves better than this. And if you can't see that, I don't know what to tell you." Riley and I left without another word. Outside, she exhaled sharply. "Caleb's not even sorry. He actually believes his nonsense." I didn't respond. Avery's confession was still spinning in my head. This wasn't an accident. Caleb had been orchestrating this for months. "We have to tell Logan," Riley said as we got in the car. "I know," I said, "but this isn't over." And I was right. The drive to Logan's place was quiet. We were both thinking the same thing. How do we tell him something this cruel? Breaking off a wedding was one thing. Learning your own brother manipulated your fiancée was another. When Logan opened the door, he looked exhausted. Dark circles, thinner, drained. "Hey," he said quietly, "didn't think I'd see you tonight." "Can we come in?" I asked. He hesitated, then stepped aside. The apartment was as worn out as he was. Dark curtains, the couch doubling as his bed, takeout containers everywhere. "Yeah, I know," he said when he caught me looking. "It's a mess. Have a seat." Riley and I sat. Logan stayed standing, arms crossed, watching us like he knew this wasn't a casual visit. "What's up?" he finally asked. Logan watched us closely, like he was bracing himself. He already knew we hadn't come just to check in. Riley and I exchanged a look. She nodded for me to start, but my throat tightened. How do you tell someone their own brother sabotaged their relationship? "Logan," I said carefully, "we just came from Mom's house. Caleb and Avery were there." He didn't move, but something in his expression shifted, just slightly. "Yeah," he said quietly, Mom told me they've been around. Riley leaned forward. There's more, Logan. Stuff you don't know. Logan's jaw tensed. Like what? I took a breath. Avery told us that she and Caleb started talking months ago, long before she ended things. And Caleb, he was telling her things about you. What kind of things, he asked. That you didn't love her, that you were only settling, that you felt trapped, Riley said bluntly. The room fell silent. Logan blinked slowly, as if processing each word separately. He didn't explode or cry. He just stood there, still, too still. He said I didn't love her? Logan murmured, almost to himself. Me? He manipulated her, I said. He planted doubts. For months. She admitted it. Logan dropped onto the couch, burying his face in his hands. Riley moved beside him, but didn't touch him. He needed space. I knew she was pulling away, he said quietly. I thought it was wedding stress, or something I'd done. But Caleb, he cut himself off, shaking his head. Why would he do that? Riley scoffed softly. Because he's Caleb, and he always gets what he wants. Logan didn't look at her. He stared at the floor, voice breaking. I trusted him. He was supposed to be my best man. For the first time that night, I saw how deeply this betrayal had cut him, not just losing Avery, but losing his brother too. He rubbed his eyes. Mom probably knew. Riley and I shared another glance. Logan caught it instantly. She knew, didn't she? She wasn't shocked when they walked in together, I admitted. And she wants everyone to move on now. She said Caleb is happy, and that's what matters. Logan laughed, a hollow, humorless sound. Of course she did. He leaned back against the couch, exhausted. I'm the idiot who thought family meant something. No, I said firmly. You're not the idiot. Caleb crossed a line no one should ever cross. Logan didn't respond. He looked drained, like his emotions had been wrung out long before we arrived. After a moment he whispered, Thank you for telling me, both of you. Riley's voice softened. We're here for you, Logan. You're not alone. Logan nodded weakly, but then he added something I didn't expect. I'm not going to confront him. Riley shot upright. What? Logan? No, he interrupted gently. I'm done giving him chances. I don't want an apology. I don't even want a reason. I'm done. I studied him. He wasn't speaking from anger. He was speaking from resignation, like he'd reached some final breaking point. Are you going to talk to Mom? I asked. He shook his head. She made her choice. She always does. Riley folded her arms, furious. She doesn't get to just pretend everything is fine. She will, Logan said bitterly. She always does. None of us spoke after that. The weight of everything hung in the room, heavy and suffocating. After a while, Logan stood. I'm going to try to sleep. I just need to think. Riley and I got up too. At the door, Logan paused. Really? Thanks for coming. We love you, Logan, Riley said. He gave a small, tired smile. I love you guys too. He closed the door gently behind us. When we reached the car, Riley let out a shaky breath. He's broken. I nodded. Yeah, and Caleb doesn't even care. Riley tightened her grip on the steering wheel. I don't know how Mom can defend him. I don't either. She started the engine, and we drove off into the quiet night, both of us unsure what the next week would bring. But the next week brought something none of us expected. Mom showed up at my apartment. No call, no warning. Just knocked on the door like nothing was wrong. I opened it to find her standing there with a forced smile. Mason, can we talk? I stepped aside reluctantly. She walked in, glancing around like she was judging the place. She sat down on the edge of my couch and smoothed her skirt. I'm worried, she said softly. I raised a brow. About what? About the tension in the family, she answered. About how you and Riley reacted at dinner. You're creating distance where there doesn't need to be any. I almost laughed. We're creating distance? Mom, Caleb destroyed Logan, and you're acting like it's nothing. She winced. I never said it was nothing. You didn't have to. The way you defended him said enough. She sighed heavily. Mason, Caleb didn't steal anything. I stared at her. Are you serious? They fell in love. It happens, she insisted. People can't control their hearts. Yes, I said, but they can control betraying their family. They can control lying. They can control manipulating someone into breaking off a wedding. She shook her head. You're exaggerating. No, I said sharply. You're refusing to see the truth. Her voice hardened. Caleb is happy now, and Avery fits better with him anyway. I couldn't hide the disgust on my face. So Logan is what, collateral damage? She stood. I won't let you speak to me like that. Then stop pretending Caleb is the victim. Her jaw tightened. If you and Riley don't let this go, you're going to tear this family apart. I stared at her in disbelief. This family was torn apart the moment Caleb betrayed Logan. Riley and I didn't cause that. My mother stepped toward the door, then paused. Her voice was cold. I hope you reconsider your behavior, Mason. Caleb needs his brothers right now. I didn't say anything. She left without another word. When the door clicked shut, I finally let myself breathe. I knew then that Mom wasn't going to change. She'd always choose